Hello and welcome back to our third session, and let us continue with our editing. So, come back to Resolve, and in Resolve, if the project is not yet open this Age of Aeroplanes trailer file. And one thing I just want you to tell you is, you have 4 arrow keys on your keyboard, that is the left, right, top and bottom. Now here, when you are working in the edit view, if you click on the left arrow key, you can see that the clip moves frame by frame to the left, to the back, and if I click the right arrow key, it moves frame by frame to the right. However, if I click the top arrow key, you can see it moved to the previous edit. This was the first edit. Then if I press the down arrow, it will move to the edit points. So this is the second edit point, third edit point, and fourth edit point is the end of the clip. So you can use these arrow keys to navigate through edits. To move through edits, we use the up and down arrows, and to move frame by frame, we use the left arrow and the right arrow. Now the next thing is, let us add one more shot here of an aeroplane. So for this, I am going to press the up arrow key twice now to come to the edit point over here, that is before this aircraft. And at this point, I want to insert one more clip. For that, I will come to B-roll, and this time I will select the first clip and double click it to open it in the source window. Now if you play it, you can see this has an audio. If I come here and if I choose the option show zoomed audio waveform, you can see the zoomed waveform. This is a clip with the audio. Now I want to insert this entire clip. I am not going to mark any in and out, but if I want to insert it, if I do the insert directly by pressing F9, see now what happens is, we get the insert of both the video and the audio together, because this contains both video and audio. However, if I want to insert only the audio or only the video, then I will go to edit and I will undo this. Then if I roll the mouse over the clip, you can see 2 icons here. The left icon indicates video and the right icon indicates audio. So if I have to add only the video and not the audio, then I can just drag from here and drop it over here, and I am going to choose the insert option here. So when I click on insert, you can now see only the video has been added and the audio has not been added. I will press edit, undo and undo it. Now if the same thing, if I want to do it by using keyboard shortcut F9, then unfortunately in DaVinci Resolve we doesn't have insert only audio or insert only video option. The only way we can insert only video is by disabling the audio track. So if you come to the timeline here, you have 2 channels here, video 1 and audio 1, and you can see a red mark V1 and A1 here. This indicates that this is the active audio track and this is the active video track. Now if I come over the audio 1 track and if I click on A1 and if I disable it, now if I press F9 and if I insert the clip, you can see only the video has been inserted and the audio has not been inserted. With this edit done, now the next edit that I want to carry out is in this second clip. So for this, I will press the down arrow key to come to this edit point, and now I am going to play the clip.
If it was possible to shoot it, we wanted to go shoot it. If we couldn't get the shot or the weather wasn't...
there is a shot wherein he is saying, if we had the possibility to shoot it, we wanted to shoot it. And as soon as he completes this sentence,
if it was possible to shoot it, we wanted to go shoot it. If we couldn't get the shot or the weather...
at this point, I want to insert another clip. So again, I will press J, rewind it, and I will press K to stop, and I will press L.
Shoot it, we wanted to go shoot it.
I will press the stop. Approximately, if required, I will click on this detail zoom, and approximately at the point 22 second and 11 frame, I want to insert my next shot here. So at this point, the shot I want to insert now is, if you scroll down in this B-roll list, there is a shot here of the flight moving through water. You have this AOA 10 Maldives shot. I will double click to open it, and if you play this clip, you can see that as you are seeing half of the clip underwater, and this is a very beautifully shot clip, and I want this clip to be added. Now to add this clip, I will first play it, and I am going to press the stop button, and now I will press J and rewind it, K to stop it, and I am going to keep K pressed and press J to move it frame by frame back. If I press L, you can see the shadow of the aeroplane falling on the water on the right side. I will press L twice, and approximately at 39 seconds 7 frames, I want the shot to start. So at this point, I will press I and mark an in point. Now, say for example, I want exactly 3-second clip. Then what I can do is, I can just come here and click on this window here, then press shift and press the plus button, type 300 and press enter. Now what happened is, this timeline from the in point moved exactly 3 seconds forward, and now if I press O, you can see an out point is marked, and the length of the clip is 3 seconds and 1 frame. We are getting 1 frame extra because when we move it by 3 seconds, it is leaving the current frame and it is moving 3 seconds. So we are getting 1 frame extra. If required, I can press the left arrow, move 1 frame back, and if I press the out key, I can make it exactly 3 seconds. Now it is okay, even if it is 3 seconds and 1 frame, it doesn't matter. And this clip doesn't have audio also, so I need not worry about the audio track. Only thing is, I have to just now press the insert key or F9, and as soon as I click, see this clip is inserted over here. So we have successfully added that clip. Now before we continue, let us explore a little about how to navigate in our timeline. So to navigate in our timeline, we already went through the 2 buttons here. The first button is zoom extend. So if I click on the zoom extend, you can see the entire width of this my timeline is zoomed out. So I can see all the clips placed in the timeline. Then the second option is to zoom it to the place where my playback head is placed. Now apart from this zoom extend and zoom detail, the third button is the custom zoom, which we can operate with the slider and plus and minus button. So, if I move the slider to the right, I am going to zoom in closer. See that I can go closer and I can see frame by frame clip now. When I zoom it completely, you are seeing frame by frame, every frame you can see it, and if I move it back, it is going to zoom out. So, I can move this zoom in and out by moving this slider or by clicking on this plus button and minus button, and the keyboard shortcut that we can use for this function is with Control plus. If you press on the equals button, then it is going to zoom in, and if I click on the minus button, the minus and equals button are next to your number 0. So, if I press minus, it is going to zoom out. With Control pressed, if I press plus, it is going to zoom in, and in Mac, instead of Control, press the command button. So, like this I can zoom in and zoom out the clip, and by chance if I have zoomed into a particular level and suddenly if I want to see the entire width of the timeline, then the keyboard shortcut I can use is Shift plus Z. If I press Shift plus Z, this will toggle to the full frame, and again if I press Shift plus Z, it will toggle to the close-up view. So, I can switch between close-up view and full view by pressing Shift plus Z. Now, the next thing is, if you have a 3-button mouse, then in the middle button you will have a scroll wheel, and by using the scroll wheel I can just rotate here with Shift pressed. If I rotate it, you can see what is happening is the height of my channel is increasing. See, I can see my channel height increased, and if I rotate it back, it decreases. Similarly, if I come to the audio track and if I press Shift and rotate, the channel height will increase, and if I rotate it back, the height will decrease. However, if you press Control and if you roll your mouse, then you can see, you can actually scroll forward and backward in your timeline. See, now I can move forward and backward in the timeline. So, if I press Shift, height changes. If I press Control, it moves forward and backward as I scroll the wheel. And if I press Alt, I can zoom in and zoom out using the mouse scroll wheel. So, these are the way you can navigate in your timeline. You can press Alt and roll the mouse to zoom in and zoom out, Shift and roll the mouse to increase the height, and Control and roll the mouse to move forward and backward. So, practice these keyboard shortcuts to work faster in DaVinci Resolve. And apart from this, if you want to change the height of this track manually without keyboard shortcut, then you have an option here known as timeline view option. You can click on this, and when you click on this, you have timeline view option, video view option and audio view option, and below you have track height. Here now I can change the track height of audio and the video. So, I will again click it to close this, or I will click somewhere outside to close this. Now, the next part here is, let us continue, and we were till now only adding the clips. Now, let us see how we can remove the clips. So, for this, say for example, I will come over here at 20-second, we have a clip with video and audio, and I doesn't want this interview clip here. I want only the audio, but I don't want the video. Now, if you see this clip, you can see a chain link both in video and audio, and this chain link indicates that this is a linked clip. Linked clip means if I click somewhere and if I select this clip, if I click on the video, audio also gets selected, and if I click on the audio, video also gets selected. So both get selected if this is a linked clip. However, if you doesn't want it to be selected like this, I can click somewhere and deselect it, and you have one link button here, switch it off. So when I switch it off and when I click on this, you can now see only the video is selected. Right now I will enable this link, and always keep this link enabled, because by keeping this enabled you are not going to go out of sync by accidentally moving only the video or the audio in your timeline. So right now what I want is, I want to remove only this video clip. So I will click somewhere outside, and if I want to select only the video track, the other option you have is, if you press Alt on your keyboard and if you click, you can see only the video track is selected. If you click directly, both will be selected. I will click here and deselect, and if I press Alt and select, you can see only the video track is selected. Now to remove this video track, what you can do is just press the del button. If I press the del button, see immediately this clip is removed and the audio has moved back. I will go to edit and undo it. Now instead of clicking on the del button, delete button, I will again press Alt and select this. If I delete this by using the backspace button on your keyboard, if I press backspace, see the clip is removed, but this is going to create a gap. The gap is created because this is called as a regular delete. When you delete it, this creates a gap. I will go to edit and undo it, but if I use, now in this case, if I Alt click and if I select this and if I press the delete button, we call this kind of delete as a ripple delete, where the clip is deleted and at the same time the gap is removed. So I will press the del button now, and you can see the clip is removed and the gap is also cleared. So this kind of delete we call it as the ripple delete. Now the next thing is, we have removed one entire clip here. Say what if you want to remove only a part of the clip. Say for example, I will come back to the timeline here, press the down arrow and I will come to the edit point where the last interview starts, and I am going to play the audio now. When I play the audio,
if we couldn't get the shot or the weather wasn't right, we would either go back to that location, stay at that location longer, or it didn't
here
make the movie. It was
I want to remove this sentence from, say, stay.
right, we would either go back to that location, stay at that location.
I want,
Right, we would either go back to that location.
so I want to remove it till location, stay to location. I want to remove this part because it is repetitive. So for this, what I can do is, I can first press the Alt and zoom it closer so that I come closer, press Shift and come on the audio track and rotate it to make the audio track bigger so that it is clearly visible. And now I will move the playhead back and front to find a point here. So when I play it, see,
Right, we would either go back to that location, stay at that location.
stay, it is
To that location,
stay
stay
at
at that
location.
location long.
I want to remove. So here
Back to that location, stay at that location.
stay, when he is stay at this point, that is approximately at 2707,
Stay at that location long.
he is saying stay that location. So I will move it, say for example 2708, and if required with alt press roll the middle mouse to zoom in, and I doesn't want the clip from here, I want to remove it. Then we can use one more tool, which is the blade tool. Now if you come to the toolbox over here, we already knew what is this insert and override tool. We will come to replace clip later. Now apart from that, you have 4 buttons here which we are now going to explore, and in this the 4th button here is the blade tool, and the keyboard shortcut for that is B. So if I press B on my keyboard, I will get this blade, and I can bring it here and see that the snapping is on here. Now the snapping is off, and if I click on the magnet again, snapping will be on. The keyboard shortcut for snapping is N. Now if I bring it, see my blade automatically snaps to my playhead, and if I click once, this clip is cut into 2 pieces. Now I will play it, and I want to remove the sound till I hear location. I will play it now. I will press L and play it.
Stay at that location longer.
Location longer it is coming. I will press J. I will keep K pressed and move it frame by frame. So somewhere here,
Or it didn't make the
or he is saying before or I want this to cut. So I will move the arrow back.
longer, or it didn't make
Or comes or starts somewhere from here, from this point, that is at 28 second 14 frames. I am going to bring my blade tool, and with snap on I will cut it. So this portion of clip now I want to remove, but to remove it I want to change my tool back from blade to selection tool, and for that press A on your keyboard. When you press A, the selection changes to selection mode. Keyboard shortcut is A. Now I will select this entire clip, and I am going to press the del button, delete button, and when I click the delete button, the clip is removed and the gap is also removed. And now if I press the / button and see how this cut works,
right, we would either go back to that location, or it didn't make the movie. It was really important. Right, we would either go back to that location, or it didn't make the movie. It was really important. Right, we would either go back to that location, or it didn't make the movie. It was really important. Or it didn't make the movie. It was really important.
I will stop the playback. So now you can see this is almost a perfect cut. Okay, so we have correctly removed a part of the clip by using the blade tool. Now the next part that I want to remove is, if I press the home key, I will come to the beginning of the timeline. If I press end, I will come to the end, and if I press the home key, I will come to the beginning. And here I have a long gap, and I want to remove this gap. If I play it,
Yeah.
see, I have a long gap.
In this film, making a documentary.
And to remove this, one easiest way is, with the selection mode, I can come over here, and if I drag it to the right like this, and I can remove off this much clip. But if I remove the clip like this, now I get a gap. I can remove this gap, it's not a problem, but this is not an efficient way of editing. So what I will do is I will undo this. Now instead of with the selection tool, there is one more most efficient tool in DaVinci Resolve which we can use for all kind of trimming and editing is the trim tool. The trim edit mode, and the keyboard shortcut for this is T. And if I select this key, if I press T and if I select this mode, and now if I drag this, you can now see this as I drag it, you can see the overall length of the clip is also reducing. See, I can just drag it like this and move it back and till the point here. And as I am moving, it is also showing me how much of the clip has been removed. So plus 304 means I have removed about 3 seconds and 4 frames of the clip. So as I move it back, see the overall length of the clip is going to increase. It is now 8 seconds, and as I move it forward, the overall length of the clip is decreasing, and approximately at a point of around 3.6 I am going to trim it and I am going to leave it. Now if I press the home key and if I play it, if required I will click on zoom extend. I will play it now.
In this film, making a documentary about how the airplanes changed the world.
So now the clip is perfectly starting from the beginning point. So this tool is known as the trim mode, and we are going to use it very frequently when we do the editing in DaVinci Resolve. Now our other way of doing the trimming is, if I come back to the clip here in the last clip, if I come here, when if required I will press Alt and roll the mouse to zoom in. I have a small bit of sound here, see here. So when I am playing it,
Either go back to that location or it didn't make.
I am getting stay sa a little here. I want to remove it, and this time I am going to remove it using the trim tool. So for this, with the trim tool selected, bring the mouse here. See, you can see how the cursor has changed, and now if I click and drag it to the left, see that portion is cut off. See, I am just moving it by 1 frame, and by moving it by 1 frame. So if you have some problem when you are moving it, I will leave it as it is. You can even switch off this snapping. The keyboard shortcut is N. If I press N, see the snapping is switched off, and now I will drag it by 1 frame, and now if I play the clip,
Back to that location or it didn't make the movie.
so now that small hiss sound that we were hearing has been removed. So this is one of the easiest way of trimming and adjusting the clip, and we are going to use this trim tool regularly in our editing. Now when you are in trim mode, another most beautiful feature you have here is, I will press the down arrow and I will bring my key over here, that is up arrow, and I will bring to this cut. And now keeping the mouse here, if I press the period button, see now I can just click and press period. I have clicked, and as I press period, see I can add frames as I click period. And if I click on the previous button, comma button, I can remove the frame. See, I can add the frame or remove the frame. So what you can do is, just in the actually in the mode of trim, click once and you can use the period and comma to add or remove the clip. This is a very easy shortcut when you are doing the trimming. Now till now we were removing the clip from this previous shot, we were removing or adding the shot. What if I wanted to add or remove the clip on the right hand clip? It's very simple. Just bring the mouse, instead of to the left hand, bring it to the right hand. Now click and press the comma button to add a frame. Press the period button to remove the frame. I will press comma and I will just add a small gap here, so that there is a little gap, it doesn't suddenly start. Now if I press the forward slash and preview it,
right, we would either go back to that location or it didn't make the movie. It was really important.
So you can now see how precisely we can edit it using this trim tool. Now after this, let us add some more clip, and the next clip that we are going to add is actually the music. So let us now work with addition of music, and the next part of edit, let us continue it in our next session. So right now I will come here, go to file, and I am going to save the project. So in this session you learnt about the blade tool, the trim tool, and how to do the trimming and adding or deleting the clips. So we have worked a lot of features about editing, and let us continue it in our fourth session in the next class.